committee of the Community and Business Development come to order. The clerk will call the roll.
All right, this is the Community and Business Development. This is Monday, March 9, 2015. We're at 6 p.m. I'm Council DeFlorio.
Here.
I'm Council Hanlon.
Here.
I'm Council McKinnon.
Here.
And I have Council Sani.
Here.
And I have Council Capone.
Here.
We do have a quorum. Please stand. Salute the flag.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Right.
Clerk will read the first order of business.
First piece of business. This is a petition for a second-class motor dealer license from new owners. Julio de Lima Jr. and Carlos de Carvalho, doing business as Everett Used Cars Incorporated at 70 Chelsea Street.
We have the petitioner in the audience. If anybody has a question,
Can we invite the petitioner up?
I have a motion to invite the petitioner up. All in favor?
Aye.
All right.
The ayes have, all opposed? The ayes have it. Can we also invite
Can we, former Council Millie Cadello, can we also have her up, please?
Council Alderman?
Oh, Alderman, I'm sorry.
Council
Mrs. President. Mrs.
Chief
President.
Walter-Washer, thank you. Good evening, everyone.
Could you please, Councilwoman, we'll call you Councilwoman because no more aldermen, so.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
And is his all set? Is this fine? It's up? It's good, okay.
Council Sani, did you have a question?
Yes, can you explain to us, we see 70 Chelsea Street, and the operation's going to be 9 to 7, and explain what kind of business you're going to be doing over there?
We're selling used cars, and the hours it's 9 to 7, Monday to Friday, and Saturdays 10 to 5.
Excuse me, I'm sorry, I apologize for interrupting. Could you please, in the mic, explain who you are and where you're from? I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
say your name and your
It's for the
address.
public.
Yeah,
Your name?
Paulo de Lima Jr., live in Tewksbury, Mass. 9 Prospect Hill Drive, and we just get the dealer here, me and Carlos de Carvalho, and we selling used cars.
And how many cars are you
And
going to be
wait a
selling?
minute, I'm sorry, could you please identify?
Oh, Millie Cardello, 27 Ferry Street, Everett, Mass.
Thank you, I apologize.
Not a problem.
I'm sorry.
You have
Continue.
an Everett address as well, don't you?
Yeah,
All right. He also has an Everett address. He took an apartment in Everett because the business is in Everett, so he wanted to be close to the business in case he gets calls at night if there's any problems. Do you want to give them that address as well?
42 Rock Valley Avenue, in Everett.
How many cars you'll be selling on the lot?
The license is for 26.
26? And how many, has this been a used car dealership before there? or-
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. Do you know how many vehicles you can fit into that piece of property?
Yes,
How many?
26.
That's all that will fit there?
No, the fits more.
6
Yeah,
more?
but the fits more, like probably 35.
36.
36,
36, I
yeah.
think is what's on the thing.
Because I'm interested in finding out, I would like you to just give us a note somewhere as to how many more vehicles you expect to have in that, and I don't mean for sale.
Right.
These are where you park, where your people that work for you park, cars that are coming back for warranty work where they have to park. I drive in with my son and his brother comes in, they come in another, there's 2 cars coming in to park. I want to know what kind of space you're going to have for those people that are coming in to buy cars.
If
We
you want
have
me
a-
to answer.
I know they can park on
Are you
Chelsea
okay?
Street too. They can
No.
do that.
Oh, yeah, we have a plenty of room inside. We have like probably 5 to 6 parking spots inside.
Do you want me to explain that? Okay. I was going to say, the city clerk has the map showing, it's an odd lot because some of the parking for the dealership is actually on Chelsea Place. It's a building that houses the car dealership on one side, hairdresser on the other, and then it extends to the back, the back of it is in Chelsea Place. So some of the parking behind the building on Chelsea Place is for the car dealership. So they have a license to sell 26 cars, but they have 36 spaces altogether, which covers them for their employees and for customers and so forth.
Okay, Michael just gave me a copy of the building department report, and I don't know if you've seen this or not, but the building department says 26 cars for sale, 8 stalls for off-street parking, and 3 stalls for employee parking. If you can sort of guarantee us that one of those places, or 2 of those places behind, I know what you're talking about, behind the building,
Yeah.
will be reserved for you,
Yes.
because I think the neighbors park over there.
No, we have it.
Explain.
We already discussed about this. We have 3 spots
3 spots.
for the dealer, and the rest, she's keeping the rest.
Okay.
The
okay.
hair salon.
I've seen lots of these things go up to 26 cars, and, you know, we come down and we look at them, and we do go down and look, you know, and all of a sudden there's 42 cars on the property. And we get, you know, Millie, we get 108 excuses, and they're all different, but none of them work, because we know they don't work. And I just want to make sure that you understand how we're feeling here, you know. And, you know, if you violate anything, we have lots of choices what we can do. You know, we can close you down for 3 days. What do you think your busiest day down on the week would be, a Friday? Maybe
Yes.
we could close you down for 3 Fridays. That wouldn't be nice, and we don't want to do that. But if you continually disregard what we want, that's how we will work. Or we could close you down for 3 weeks, or take away your license. So that, we don't want to do that, honest, we don't. So we want you to behave, we want you to do exactly what you say you're going to do, and you'll never hear from us, okay?
Sure.
Okay, I think I'm finished. Thank you.
What's the hours of operations gonna be?
9 to 7, Monday to Friday, and Saturdays 10 to 5.
Okay. And you don't anticipating being there later or on Sundays or anything like that, correct?
No, yeah.
Okay.
Sunday.
Thank you.
Sundays. There's no license for
For
Sunday, no.
Sundays, isn't it? Okay.
no.
We had a problem with another
Okay.
place, that's why I'm asking.
Okay.
Counsel Capone?
Thank you, Madam Chairman. First of all, Madam Alderman, always a pleasure to see you in the chamber.
Thank you.
Uh,
Pleasure to be here.
And a couple quick questions for you with regards to the business. How many employees do you currently have?
It's me, Carlos, and the sales. So one.
Okay. And do you have any prior experience with car sales and dealerships,
Yes,
anything of
I
that
worked
nature?
for like 8 years before in Malden. That's my first time working in Everett. That's the first.
But you do have 8 years of experience in
Yeah,
the
working.
industry?
I never owned.
Okay.
That's my first time owning.
Okay, all right, very good. No, I have no other questions, thank you.
Did you have another question?
Yes, I got 2.
Okay.
If I come back with warranty work, okay, where would you repair the vehicle?
We have the mechanic across 67 I.
No.
No.
Next door at Real.
Real Auto Glass,
Real
yeah.
Auto Glass. Oh, you might have
Okay.
been out of the room
Okay,
when
yeah.
I explained this. Mass state law says you have to have a bay to repair cars for a used car dealership. So next door, this entire property on 70 Chelsea Street, next door to it, is all owned by the same person. The last time we licensed there, the city allowed the owner to use the bay right next door, the properties are adjacent, at Real property. I mean, Real Auto Glass.
Real Auto Glass.
Who will do the repairs, though?
That'd be
Is
Carlos,
it
right?
the auto glass place, or do you have a mechanic that you have that comes in?
No, we have a mechanic.
You do have a mechanic?
That's the other person that's applying, petitioning for ownership. He'll be the mechanic.
Okay, okay, and, okay, where is your vehicles? Oh, and I just wanted to point out one other thing that you have here. You say that your hours are going to be 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. You can go there before 9 o'clock, you know, to bring stock in and do things, but don't sell any cars, you know, before or
Before the
after
hours.
those hours, you know?
Okay.
If you need to take a car out at 7:30 at night, that's your business, but it better not be someone that you're selling a car to. I don't mean that to say like as a threat. Come on, that sounded wrong. It sounded wrong. No, I didn't mean to say it that way, you know? But the thing is, we don't want, those are your hours that you chose, 9 to 7. We want you to make sure you stay at 9 to 7.
9 to 7.
Earlier on, you go in, you wash the windows, do whatever you have to, that's fine. You want to work late doing your bookkeeping, that's fine.
Drop
but
it
no
off a
sales.
car.
Okay?
A car when came in from the auction or something, you can just drop it in.
Sure. No one's buying that car, or
Yeah.
you're not, yeah, that's fine.
He could only hope that someone would be there before 9 o'clock in the morning to buy a car.
Well, a lot of places local.
Any other questions?
Yeah.
Do we want to ask any questions to the city clerk to make sure everything was in order? If we have, We're excused with the customary thanks, thank you.
Thank you very much.
And,
Can we invite Mr. Matarazza up?
a motion to invite, City Clerk Michael Matarazzo. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? The ayes have it.
We have all the paperwork in order?
Everything's in order. That is true, the last time they allowed, if you know that property, the glass place is right next door. There's a bay right there, and that's where they do their repairs, the same as they did last time. It's all Guido Mondello's property there. But, you know, it's an obvious thing when it's empty. You know, it's a pretty big lot, and
It is.
almost like 142 Ferry. I mean, when it's empty and nothing's there, you know, as long as they stay with the amount of cars, and traditionally, that spot hasn't been an crowded lot. Because to make it effective, make it look good, you really have to keep the cars in a certain way. And the people usually they figure it out. The people like to walk around and look at the cars, so they don't tend to really jam them in that lot. At least that's been my experience with 70
Well,
Chelsea.
anything you're selling there would have to be lined up, like Christmas trees.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. So it's pretty, you know, it's been a pretty good business. We haven't had a huge amount of problems at 70 Chelsea. So, you know, as long as it stays that way, it's a decent-looking property. It doesn't tend to get too crowded. I'm glad that's where the repairs are going to continue to be made, so overall, I don't see any problem with it at this point.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right.
Move to custody thanks.
Favorable action on the
Second.
order?
Favorable action on the order. All in favor?
With all the items so attached, that would be a part of the license, okay?
So favorable action on the order and attached, I'm sorry, Counsel, I didn't hear you.
All the restrictions. that
All the
are-
restrictions will be attached to the order. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? The ayes have it. Clerk will read second.
Item number 2. Sponsor, this is junk collectors ordinance. Council Frank Capone.
Junk collector's orders.
Counsel Capone?
Thank you, Madam Chairman.
Just for junk
I
collectors.
sent a copy to everybody by email, and what I had done is, just to give you a little history, this is one of those ordinances that either didn't exist or was insufficient, and our city clerk had done some work and pulled some language together, and we appreciate his efforts on that regard. There are a couple of minor amendments that I made, and to try to make them stand out, I made them capital, bold, and underlined. And go through them one at a time. If there's any questions, more than happy to answer any questions regarding it.
If I could ask a question from the chair? Thank you. Counsel Capone, we did receive this email, and I appreciate you sending this out, but when you get as old as I am, you can't read things off the computer. You have to kind of print them, so.
Okay.
I have the copy in front of me tonight.
Sure.
Is this something that has to be passed right away, or can we lay over 2 weeks? I'd like to honestly, I didn't read it. I did get the email, I'm not gonna say I didn't get it.
Yep.
But like I said, I have a problem, I can't read on the computer, I have to print out the email.
Yep.
It's an age problem, so let's not discriminate. And I didn't have ink in my printer to print it out, so I
Right.
would like to know if I could have the time
I
to
don't,
look over
I don't
this.
have, yeah, I
And
don't have a
could
problem with
the time
that.
probably between now and 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
So we have enough time.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, I don't have any questions because I haven't read it. So,
Okay, yeah.
anybody else have any questions?
No, I unfortunately got it, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, Counsel Hanlon,
No,
but
never mind, that's
Counsel
okay.
McKinnon has a question. Okay, Counsel Hanlon, do you have a question?
No, I was just gonna say that I received it at home, but it's okay.
Oh, okay, thank you. Counsel McKinnon?
The fine structure on this is gonna be what, Fred?
It's going to be on the second page of Section 2. We've got that standard catch-all, it's Section 1-8, and that's what the fine structure is. I think it,
And who will be doing the finance, ISD, just for the viewer audience, so they know?
I think it could be.
Is it ISD or
It
is
could
it
be,
police?
it could be police, it could be ISD, or the agents. So, yeah, it'd be one of those two.
Okay. And are we going, with junk collection, is this separated from the other licensing of like, you know, bottle collectors and stuff like that? Or does this fall under the same umbrella?
Yeah, I think we probably defer to the city clerk on that one. We could have.
Could we have
please
Mike
the city clerk
Matarazzo
for us.
come up, please? City clerk?
Could we please have Michael Matarazzo up, all in favor? All opposed, the ayes have it.
Mike, the question was, does this fall under the same umbrella for the bottle collectors, the people that are out there, like pushing carts and all that stuff?
Yeah,
Rubbish,
yeah,
going
the
through
state law
rubbish?
says that we should be licensing anyone who collects junk, whether by appointment or not. And it also restricts going, obviously, you can't go on someone's private property and take, you know, their, which we had problems with before, like downspouts and everything when aluminum was up there. But, yeah, I mean, they actually would fall under it. I've spoken to 2 separate junk collectors in Everett, and they were both in favor of it. They said, yeah, it makes my business licensed, and that makes my business worth more than what it is now.
So this
they
would
don't
give
mind.
us more teeth, we'll say, so that like when, you know, you have someone rubbishing through the rubbish for bottles and stuff like that.
They should be licensed,
Okay, if they're not licensed, then they get the fine,
exactly.
and it just goes by the.
Yeah, we were always
1-8.
supposed to license junk collectors. We just never did. We did the junk yards, the junk buyers. And I just happened to be reading it. It said junk collector, and then it identified what a junk collector is, and it's that guy that goes by and you know, you clean out your basement, whatever, and he takes the metal or he takes the junk, and he should be licensed. So,
Fair enough. Thank you very much.
Any other questions?
No.
Counselor Hanlon?
You know, just to make sure we always wind up with problems like this here, I don't see bottles or cans on here. I think we should include it somewhere. I know you're saying
Yeah.
you want to include them, but I think, you know, like the very first sentence, all metal rags, paper, secondhand articles. I don't think a bottle or a can would be included as a secondhand article because it has a value to it.
the can may because it's a metal,
Yeah, you
but
know.
the bottle, yeah.
Well, you can turn them into, well, I don't mean.
I know what you
I
mean.
mean bottles that have return amounts on them.
Right.
You know, so I just think it would be nice if we could have that up somewhere in here. Even there or in section 1,
Yeah, that's
you
fine.
could put it in there, but someplace, just so that what Council McKinnon was saying about, you know, the people collecting those, because those are the most of the people I see.
Yeah.
The people that come around doing this other kind of collecting are coming at, you know, 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock in the morning. I don't see them, you know, so, but I do see the others. So just if that would be included in, is that gonna be you, Counselor?
Yep.
Okay,
He can amend on the floor.
okay.
Any other questions, Counselor Hanlon?
No, I mean, I think that would be, I'm fine with it, that now, but the other thing is too, you had, who asked the question about who enforces it?
Me.
The mayor is in charge of enforcing all the ordinances in the
Right.
city of Everett. Therefore, the police department would be in charge of, and he may turn even some of this over to the,
That's why I stayed.
right, you know, the other
Yep.
people that do it, so, okay.
Counselor Sani?
You mentioned bottles and cans, people that go into the trash and pull them out. And you talked about the police can actually find them. If they refuse to give their ID, what happens then? I know that in the past, they really can't do nothing about that because
I
they're
mean,
homeless.
No, then you would go to the state law. I mean, state law says you shall be licensed, and the fines are even greater than 1-8. So if they don't want to deal with us on a city level, I have to deal with it on what the state level is, and it's significantly more.
What if they're
Um,
homeless and they don't have, they're homeless and they
Well,
don't
they end up
present
being
anything?
arrested.
Is it arrestable offense?
Yeah,
then?
sure. You're practicing unlicensed, and as you know from a couple of years ago with Alderman DePerry, you know, a lot of these people, not so much the ones taking bottles and cans, but people in general. I mean, they were stealing grave markers and, you know, and if you're gonna collect junk in the city of Everett, we want to know who you are and that you're doing it reputably. And when you go and you drop it off at one of the junkyards, we want to know that they know who you are.
Exactly, because it could be.
Because you're licensed.
Right, and I know that some people got their furniture stolen off their porches, and then when someone tried to look for it, they don't know who they are, and
Yeah.
there's no repercussion on that. But on the bottles and cans, I do know a lot of people complaining that they're dropping them on the ground, so I do hope that they can correct this, if we do have this little tool in here.
Yep.
To work with it, so.
And, you know, they can continue to do it. All they do is get a license.
Right, right.
And if that's how they support their films, that's fine. We just want to know who you are and that you're doing it, and if we have a problem with you, then we can turn to you and say, you know, you're licensed in this city, but look what you're leaving behind. You're leaving a mess. Or you're taking things that you really shouldn't be. You're on people's private property. You're not allowed to do that. You know, if that's how you feed your family, that's fine with us. We just want to make sure that you're not intruding on the rights of everybody else as well.
Can we stop them from going through the trash, the bottles in cans?
If they're taking anything of value, we probably cannot stop them from taking it out of the trash, but we can say in order to go in the trash and take things of value, secondhand articles, you need a license in the city of Everett.
I heard about the trash once it's on the street. We don't own it no more, but I just figured if we can try to stop it, you know, but if we can't, then this will be a little something to work with. Thank you.
All right.
Can I ask a question from the chair?
So moved.
Any other questions before?
Yes.
You have a question?
Yeah.
Of Council Hanlon?
I apologize because I missed what Councilman Asani was saying. Were you talking about the way they leave the rubbish behind?
Yeah.
The pickers,
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, they leave a mess in the street?
yes.
What was I'm sorry I missed it. Saw an old friend. What was the solution of the committee? What happened?
You just said that they have to have a license.
All right, you can't stop them from going in the trash
No,
and
no, no,
taking
no.
things.
I meant when they pull it out and they drop the newspaper, the bag.
We weren't discussing that, we just talked about.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Then, Fred, Councilor Capone, I think we should add in their license that the collectors must return I'm trying to word this now, the area in the condition it was in before they started. You know, so, because I don't want them throwing junk all over the sidewalk, but some of them do.
I think that, if I may, I think that's a condition that's put on the license when the person coming to get it is that type of collector.
Okay,
As opposed to, you know, the trucks that we see where they, hey, we'll clean out your basement?
yes, yes.
Those guys, I mean, they're a whole different,
Yeah,
you know,
they're-
a type of company, but that's something that should be on the licenses, whoever's on licensing committee and the city council in general, that if they're coming in and that is their business, one of the stipulations on their license can be, and that you don't leave a mess behind, you know, that you make sure.
However we can word that, you know.
Right.
That's something that, you know, people say, yeah, and I don't mind them taking the bottles or the cans.
Me
They
neither.
make a couple of dollars, it's fine with me, although my wife collects them too. But, you know, but just leave it like it was, you know, so.
Yeah.
And I noticed that some of the older females, they do a good job. It's like house cleaning to them, you know, they don't leave anything
Do you
behind.
have any other question? I'm sorry.
Oh,
Any
go
other
ahead.
questions? We have,
I'm
Just
sorry.
one.
that's okay. Councilor McKinnon?
What's the cost of the license?
We said it's $75?
Is it 75?
Yeah,
That's
$75,
for
which,
everybody,
Yeah, which
bottle
is in-
collectors and all
yeah.
that stuff? Okay, thank you.
Michael Matarazza. Who you said was gonna enforce this? The police department?
or ISD, or myself. A lot of times when it's a license violation, they come to
I
me.
just wanna make one thing clear, is that we keep putting ordinances, and we keep getting
Right.
licenses, and we keep giving people more and more things to do.
Right.
And when the budget comes up, that if the mayor needs another ISD department, you have to understand what's going on here, because we just keep writing these ordinances that have
Right.
to be enforced, and then they keep saying they don't have enough people.
Well, the
So-
police can also always enforce the ordinances. They're
I
the laws
understand
of the
police
city.
can always enforce the
But
police,
in
I
most
think
cases, it'd
they
be
have-
ISD or myself.
Yeah, I think the police have enough to do in
Right.
the city. So
Well, if they happen to
let's-
see it.
Yeah, if they happen to see it, but let's keep them to crime. You know, and make sure that,
Yep.
you know, write tickets for people speeding, it's a public safety issue, not for people taking stuff out of the
Hmm.
barrels. I don't wanna take the police off a job to go through, give people like, you know, tickets for barrels.
Right.
When they could catch a person down the street speeding, that's more of a public safety issue to me, that's more important. That's my.
This
feeling.
sort, if I may, the people taking the stuff out of the trash are sort of a sideline to this.
Yeah.
The law says if you're collecting junk, you need to be licensed, and we just never, for some reason in Everett, license them. So it's really just meant for those folks who are junk collectors.
Yeah.
The folks who are going and getting the bottles and cans, they're sort of like, you know what? They fall under this. You know, it's just kind of a realization that they indeed would fall under this as well. So it's not really meant for them as opposed to,
Right, but I don't wanna make a big deal where, you know, a code enforcement guy goes by.
Right.
And he might see a person pick up a bottle, and all of a sudden, it's gonna
Right.
cause a problem with a $75 ticket, because he's not licensed to pick up a bottle. So,
no, I think it's going to be when you see somebody making a mess, someone's going to pick up a phone, and that's a good way to stop in that particular case.
right, okay, thank you.
All
Any
right.
other questions for Michael? Counsel Hanlon?
Sorry. Michael, are you authorized to enforce ordinances?
By the code enforcement ordinance, I'm an agent of, well, the Board of Aldermen, now the city council.
So-
And I'm their, basically, I'm their representative on ISD,
Okay.
basically.
So you are authorized?
Yeah.
I just want to make sure you have that.
Yes.
If not, we could give it to you. And the other question is, you had just mentioned, or someone mentioned a fine. Do we have a schedule of fines?
It's all under, I believe, the council said 1-8.
Oh, subject to a fine in accordance with
Yeah.
1.8? Okay.
Yeah, so the 25, 50,
50, 100, 75, whatever,
yeah.
the scale.
Move, Mr. Moderato, be excused with customary thanks.
Second.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mike.
What's your pleasure?
Make a motion that we refer, oh, I'm sorry.
If I may, there was actually a very good suggestion by Council Hanlon. It was cans and, we wanted to incorporate cans and bottles into the language.
Yes.
And I would think in section 1, paragraph 1, that'd be a good place to put that.
Fine,
It's a good suggestion.
yeah.
How would you like this to go out?
We made a few suggestions. Do you have them all, Fred?
I've got
If I may-
the, the can and bottles, and then the other one would be a condition of the license when it was given to him, because the collection, as our clerk had stated, the licensing for this is really meant for the larger scale junk collectors that come in and collect the stuff on the truck. So to leave it in the condition they found, it would be, they'd have to put everything back. So, but what you're talking about is you're talking about folks that are going around and rummaging and
Right.
not taking everything,
Right,
just taking a portion. So that would be, if I heard our city clerk correctly, that would be a stipulation of their license.
Yes.
And the trash dealers, they would know, they just go and they clear everything from there, so.
Okay.
So the only thing that I heard was can and bottles, but I'm open to any suggestions
cans.
for amendments,
Okay.
you know. so
And
I-
what I was going to just suggest, if Councilor Capone can make those
Amendments.
corrections now,
Okay,
we can refer it out, favorable action with the amendments.
okay.
Is that
Absolutely.
Is that all right?
Well, for me, that's okay. I mean, obviously, I read it as we're going along, all
Okay.
right? So it's not a hard piece to
Yep.
read. But we do have other councils that are not here. We have 6 other members that are not here.
Well, I know, but we report out. We're going to report out.
Yeah.
And we should have a report for them to read of what this committee did,
Right.
because they
We're
can't.
we're reporting out the amendments
Yes.
on this
But we're
piece.
not, they're not voting on it tonight, right?
Why not?
They could.
could,
It would
if
be
it
up
hits
to the
the floor.
body.
Can they, John? Yes, they can vote on it tonight. So, I mean, referring it to the council with the amendments so described by Councilman Capone.
But
And
whatever
that
your
way there
pleasure
we
is,
can pass
Council
it tonight and we can get it off our calendar and off our.
So
vote and so
refer it
forth.
to the council, favorable recommendation as amended. Is
amended.
that correct?
Yep.
Yes.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? The ayes have it.
You all set?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Make a motion to adjourn. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? The ayes have it.